Hi and welcome to the Shah project, where I inspire people to connect with their outdoors. In this episode, we are still talking about the Ordnance Survey app, the online app as well as the mobile app. In the part 1 of my demonstrations, I showed you how to discover routes on the Ordnance Survey online app. In part 2, I showed you how to create custom routes. And in part 3, which is today, I am going to show you how to use the Ordnance Survey mobile app in conjunction with discovering routes and the custom route that we created last week. My name is Shah. I'm a landscape photographer, passionate adventurer, mountain biker, and a devoted conservationist. A few years ago, my freedom and independence was nearly taken away from doing what I love by becoming a carer for my special needs son. Since then, I've doubled the stakes of my mission to make nature and the outdoors an inseparable and fundamental part of every family. This has now become my project. All the tools on the Ordnance Survey app and the mobile app have been provided by the company for me to use by subscribing and paying for their service. So there is no sponsorship involved in this. So let's get started on demonstrating part 3, which is how to use the Ordnance Survey mobile app with the bespoke route we created in my last episode. So the Ordnance Survey Maps app can be found on iOS for Apple phones, and it can be found on Android apps as well. I believe they have them for both, definitely for the iPhone. And that's what I'm using right now. So in case you're unfamiliar with the interface, this is an iPhone that I'm using. The icon for the OS Maps or the Ordnance Survey Maps is the one you see on the left, which says OS Maps. That's the icon when you download from the App Store. So if we touch that and go into there, it will load up the app. I will start by showing you the basic interface that we have here and give you a little overview of that. It is very similar to the online app itself, the computer app that you find in your browser. It is very similar in terms of how it functions, just a little bit more minimal, and in a slightly different way it is laid out to be more user-friendly for a smaller screen or a smaller device. So if we start on the top left, which is the menus for the app, we begin with create a route. So create a route is what I showed you on my part 2 of the Ordnance Survey demonstration, which is creating custom routes. Record route is if you're on a specific location or you're within a specific area and you want to start hiking from there or biking from there and you actually want to record that specific route, you can select record route and it will ask you, okay, what activity are you doing? You select that activity and then you go, and it will record that specific route for you. Find routes is what I showed you in the part 1 of the Ordnance Survey demonstrations. So find routes is how you find routes that have been created by other people. So it could be Trail Magazine or AA Walks, or it could be any individual who's created a route and made their route public. You would find it through here. If we go back, the Open AR viewer is very useful. You basically select the Open AR viewer and point your phone in the direction of your trail or the woodlands you're surrounded by or the mountains you're surrounded by, and it will tell you exactly what you're looking at and what village is in the vicinity, what mountains are nearby. It will give you an overview by creating little tabs on your telephone map. As we go further down, we've got My Routes and Maps. Routes is the route that you have created bespokely. So the Ordnance Survey online app is very much in sync with your mobile app. So once you sign in on both, then anything you do on one will show on the other. The route you see here, Ruislip Common, Woodlands, Lake, Golf Course, is the route we created in the part 2, which was last week. And that route is something we're going to go into detail more about today. If you tap on favorites, it shows you all the items that I've favorited, which I've either walked or fancy walking one day. If I touch the Trail Magazine Sugarloaf that we see down here, Trail Magazine Sugarloaf, I touch that and that takes me to the route Trail Magazine Sugarloaf, which was something I had discussed in the part 1, which was discovering routes created by other people. So this was created by Trail Magazine, and it was a walk of the Sugarloaf Mountain. And then under My Profile, you have various account settings, your activities you'd like to set up. What's very useful is the support section, the map legend. So if you're not familiar with map legends, they are to do with what little symbols are on maps and what they represent and what they mean. So when you're hiking, biking, or maneuvering any outdoor space, you have an idea of what's going on, what's happening nearby to you. If you walk 5 miles, where is it going to go? If you walk 3 miles to the west, where is that going to lead you to? And so if I go into the UK and then select Explorer Map, it gives you information about the various legends. So I can zoom in and it tells you where the motorways are, where the roads are, where a path might be, what is single track, what sort of terrain you're walking on, what's a bridleway, what's a public space, what the various other icons mean. And it just gives you an idea of what is around you on the map when you're actually creating the map or walking the map. So this is a good idea to go through and learn about before you get out there, or at least have it at hand, like on your mobile phone, to see what exactly that symbol means, especially if you're not familiar with Ordnance Survey maps. If we close this and look at the rest of the interface, the buttons on the bottom right hand side, they are the same as what you have here. They're pretty much the same. The top one is the Open AR viewer, which you see here. The second one down is your location in terms of where exactly you are on the map. The third one down is discovering other people's routes. So it's a shortcut rather than going through here and saying discover somebody else's route. And the last one is useful. It's the different terrains or map views that you can actually change from and change to. So we can have a standard map, and that would look like that. We could have an aerial map, which is a satellite view of the Sugarloaf Mountain. We could have a green space view, and that would look like that. If we go back to the top left menu and click on routes, the Ruislip Common, Woodlands, Lake, Golf Course is a route we created in part 2 of my video, which was last week, and I talked about how to create a custom route using the Ordnance Survey online app. So if we click on that, and there it is, the red trail that you see going around Bayhurst Wood, Madbest Wood, around Ruislip Common and Ruislip Lido, that is the route we created last week, which automatically updated and brought itself onto my mobile app. I didn't have to send it here to the app. It automatically did it from the online app that we did in the browser to the mobile app that we have here with us right now. And as you can see at the bottom, it gives you a little description box to show you that it's 6.27 miles, 2.5 hours, or just under 2.5 hours walk it would take. And you have the option of downloading this map or starting the route. If you click on download map, then it would download the map including the trail that the route that you're going to walk, and it will save it on your mobile app. So it doesn't use your mobile data. It does use GPS, but it doesn't use the mobile phone's reception or the GPS from directly from the your mobile phone service. So it's downloaded and it already has that facility to track you and route you around this trail. If you click on start route, then it will use the phone's GPS system including your mobile tariff, and if you don't have reception, then you may be stuck at some point halfway through trying to buffer through that trail and that route, and it might not load. Then you don't really have a route. So it's a good idea to download the map along with the route. If we touch the arrow at the top of the box, and it opens up and gives us a little bit more detail about this route that we created. So you can modify the route, which we don't want to do because we like the route. You can favorite it. You can export the GPX in case you want to use it with your Garmin or another mobile app that you might have downloaded. You can share it with a friend or with somebody or on social media. And if you recall that I had rated this walk moderate. It is a leisurely walk, but moderate just for the sake of showing you what we can do with it, how we can change it up to suit what we want to see when we hike it, or what we might want people to discover when they hike it. You don't want to put leisurely and then somebody decides to hike it and they find it very challenging. And then we've got the elevation right below it. So it just tells you what the incline is, where the hills are, and how those are going to differentiate as we walk along. So if you're at 3.14 miles, you know the sort of elevation you'll be at. Towards the end, you know the sort of elevation you'll be at. So it just gives you a little overview of what we have created here and what we will be hiking using the mobile app. So if I close that and we go back to the Ruislip common route that we created, and then we decide to hike it. So if you're not nearby, then you're going to have to make it to the point where the black location marker is. So that's where the parking space is, and you'll have to make your way there, whether you're walking, cycling there, or going by car, and park up and then make sure that you're very close to the route before you actually begin the route. So if we touch start route, then you can see it's buffered and we are pretty much ready to go. Okay, I'm going to stop this for now so I can show you the other facility. Are you sure you want to finish this route? We'll just hit yes for the time being. And we're not going to add to my activity record because we haven't really done it. Okay, now if I touch download map, then as you can see, 42% done, 95% done, and then it's downloaded the app so that we don't have to use the mobile phone tariff or their reception and GPS as we walk along this trail. It's downloaded so that I can use it without interfering with any reception problems or disturbances from any buffering or any issues that I might have by not having a mobile phone signal. That's pretty much it. It's that simple. So all the hard work really goes into creating the bespoke or the custom route on either the mobile app. You can create it here, or you can create it on the online app through the browser. I prefer to use the browser simply because it is the screen is bigger, it's larger, and so you can see exactly what you're doing and pinpoint the trail to exactly what you want to cross over, what you want to walk around, and just get a good view of it. So I hope that's easy enough to understand. This is really easy. You will see right about now a little link which can take you to another video I've done, which is actually the route that I've walked along this pretty much the same trail. If there's any questions or you have any issues with the app or the mobile app or the online app, then please drop me a comment in the comments section and I will be happy to help you with any questions you might have. Well, I hope you enjoyed that demonstration and found it quite informative, and hopefully you can use it to your advantage when you get outdoors or before you get outdoors. Remember, it goes without saying that the hard copy maps are advisable and always suggested by myself to take out with you when you go on adventures. Just for safety reasons, if your mobile phone fails, then at least you have the hard copy map. And also for the fact that it is a lot more detailed in terms of what you can see on the hard copy map than you can actually see on the mobile app, because you can open it up and get a better vista or view of the map and the facilities and the amenities that you would find in the area that you're hiking, biking, or whatever you're doing. I'd also ask you to check out my website, which is the shah.com. So www.shah.com. Have a look. There's lots of places that I've visited, hiked and biked that you will find on my journal page there. And it's perhaps something you might want to do. A lot of them are around the southeast of England, around London, and some are further afield. But I think it might be worth having a look and maybe doing one of the routes that I've created there. And last but not least, it leaves me to say that if you are watching this and you're not a subscriber, then please go ahead and subscribe up here or down here somewhere, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this demonstration. Have you looked at part 1, 2 and 3, and does it make sense to you? Leave me a comment below. If you like the video, then by all means hit that like button. I'd appreciate that, and I will see you out and about.